my involvement with the International Federation of Business and Professional Women had its roots in the United Nations. I wouldn't say, I wasn't professional, but it was a tie to the UN. And because one summer, Mount Holyoke College gave me an internship at the United Nations. And I worked for Dr. Lindstrom, a Swedish, wonderful Swedish man. And I had graduated from Mount Holyoke, and I had the summer at the United Nations. And that was the beginning of my love affair with the UN. It never stopped. I always do whatever I can to promote it and to bring other people into the web of diplomacy, which is really what these professional organizations are very good to do. And I was very interested anyway in international affairs because I was a political science major at Mount Holyoke College, and I was very involved. I had a French government scholarship for a year at Institut d'études politiques in France. And so I was very interested in anything international. I lived right across from the United Nations, which was very helpful. And I lived there for many years. And I was constantly inviting people who belong to the UN to come to my home for pleasure. And I got to know them so well. And so many people I met from all over the world that it was a very wonderful experience for me. I was quite delighted. I will have to say that I went many years later. There was an open session, a question and answer session. And the gentleman who was chairing it was from Austria. And he opened the door for questions. And I raised my hand and I said, well, I would like to know how many women are employed at the UN now in positions of importance. Silence in the entire room was packed. I don't know how I had the nerve to do it, but I wanted to know. And he had to admit very few women were employed. And I made my point that here we were talking about business and professional women to an audience that should have had more women and didn't. So in the year 2005, I was working down in the Wall Street area, and I got a phone call from somebody I didn't know, but she was very persuasive, asking me to come and talk a little bit about my my ties to the international world, so to speak. And I said, well, I don't know. I think I'm not important enough to speak to a meeting that was being held at 60th Street at a very nice hotel, and there were going to be many women from all over the world, and I was asked to talk about it and my experience. So I didn't want to, but my very good friend Mary Brophy, who then became my vice president and who's a wonderful woman, she said, well, Harriet, I think you should tell people because it's very exciting how this all happened, and I'll go with you. So she did. And we went, and I had never seen anything like it. So many women, many in native clothing. And I thought, what a fantastic experience this is to meet all of these wonderful people. At the end, they asked me to say a few words, and I told them how difficult it is for women in business, professional women, and how I appreciated what they are doing. I felt so in love with the whole people and the feeling that I could do something helpful. And over the many years, I tried. I worked very hard for BPW and brought in some wonderful speakers. I'm still doing that. And I tried very hard to bring other people to the BPW organization because it was very worthwhile. So it enlivened my life. And it's an experience I will never regret. And it was really thanks to Liz Bennon that this all happened against my inclination to do something like this, but I never regretted it. So the door was open to me when I was appointed a delegate to the UN by BPW. That was the beginning of a wonderful association, and I still have it. I still maintain it. I am still looking for young women who would benefit from the contacts with the international organizations. And I think that people like Liz Bennon and others are invaluable in forging these ties. I truly believe that. And I hope that, as I say, I'm facing my 96th birthday. I hope I'll be around for my 100th.